the weather. Well, I'm definitely dressed too warm for the weather, but I'm not sure if the temperature is going to drop as the sun sets, and I'm going out. Felt like looking good on camera and in public, so I have a couple layers with a couple layers under them because I'm heading over to a hot yoga session. So I've got my hot yoga layer on underneath this layer, and then I put my coat on, right? And so it's ultimately the coat that's probably too much, but it's my Black Earth Productions coat, and the season in which I wear it a lot is going away. So therefore, getting it in while it's not too hot to fucking wear it, or I would have to wear it without a shirt on, which would look cool as fuck, because I do that all the time too. But that'll get hot. And it was pushing 70 today, man. It was like 65. It was righteous. So how are we feeling? How are we feeling today? So I think it's very interesting. This is all happening in a manner that I had hoped it would. In that, look, people that are Trump obsessed just think Trump's really good at everything. As far as the worship of Trump is concerned, right? And it's extraordinarily strange seeing it go down in the manner that it's going down, right? Because the only people in America that support this are like the fundamentalists. But you have to understand, it does not fucking matter, because it's all wag the dog. So, the fundamentalist lobby did not make this happen. It's just that it became necessary. It becoming necessary is completely different than what the neocons were doing. Right? None of this follows suit with PNAC. Because we were supposed to have a destabilized Middle East, but we stabilized it first. In a manner in which nobody's fucking complaining about. It's like we resolved a bunch of bullshit in the Middle East, and then we got it all fucking civil, fine, and dandy. So the truth of the matter is that nobody wants to help Iran, and everybody thought that's what was going to happen. I don't know if it's true what I heard about North Korea wants to get involved if American boots go on the ground. Sure, why not? I live in a universe where I'm pretty sure nukes are not real. Now, before you run away from my channel because I've lost all credibility, hear me out. Even if nukes are real, when was the last time a nuclear test was done? We don't test nukes anymore, dude. Right? We're not riddled with it. If North Korea, in fact, has nukes, they haven't been testing in a while either, and thus they'd be babies with nukes. Where did Israel, in a country as small as Israel, how did Israel test their nukes? Guys, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to fucking fire an untested nuclear ordinance. Are you fucking crazy? Now, maybe that's the point. So this war has made Iran into bad neighbors with everybody that used to be neutral with them right there in the region. That's a whole lot of fucking global shifting of fucking consciousness as to their feelings about the existence of the regime. So, that wasn't supposed to happen. Not to mention, not everything in PNAC was bad. It's just that very bad things were meant for PNAC to get in there. Because it wasn't like this was a top secret document. It's just that they limited circulation of it because they were working off of a certain system that turned you a blind eye, and you could afford to, because the American Empire had a really big aura, you see, right? We had this aura that was part of the spirit of our very big population, with the baby boomers, and, you know, we're not quite yet realizing the damage we had done with Gen X. And so we just kind of kept at it until people started looking at the numbers, right? I mean, I'm a sad story of the numbers myself. I'm going to be 46 in just a couple weeks, and I don't have children. And that sounds crazy to you until you knew who I was 3 years ago. And then you kind of understand, because I was a much more of a wreck of a goddamn fucking person. And so, when you go through the process of de-victimizing yourself, when you go through the process of been paying attention when you knew that your own government was your enemy, you end up having a different perspective and different values than other people. And that has what has forged me into, like, a lot of people surprised, effectively. They're surprised that I'm supportive of this war. And that is because I didn't care about nukes. I cared about those fucking beheadings. What I think is fucking weird is, like, honestly, if I was Trump, and I've said this before, I wouldn't have said a goddamn thing about nukes. I just would have fucking said, listen, man, they're just fucking killing them anyway. They're going to kill them subversively. We're listening to the fucking, you know, Iranian people that have nothing to do with this, right? Like, you realize, like, I believe they do a lot of fucking, they got, like, a whole lot of women into breeding armies. So, like, these people, these IRGC people, there's, like, a whole lot of fucking brothers that are, like, birthed into the world by these mothers that are happy to have several children, and they may be one of several wives or something like that. You know, so, like, you know, like the way you think about how Mormons could go ridiculous if, you know, you would let somebody like a Warren Jeffs cult of Mormonism go on, right? You know, Warren Jeffs was so bad that the Mormons had to fucking, like, say, nah, man, that's not our kind of Mormonism. I don't know what the fuck he's on about. We don't honor that anymore. That's from an old world belief. You know, like, they have their fucking line. They have their fucking line that they sell you about it. But believe me, they're all just sitting there like, I wonder if ever the world will have the conditions where God would be pleased with a Warren Jeffs kind of society. I would like to have 12 wives. So, I think that we've just been very, very wrong about how we've thought about things, right? And, you know, none of this is like some sort of, like, nationalism versus anti-nationalism argument. It's just a war. It's effectively a war. It's a war between three nations, right? It's the battle of the three armies, right? It's America coordinating with Israel, because whether America likes it or not, Israel can make its own fucking decisions, and then America has to deal with the consequences of Israel's decisions, because that's what it is when you're a nation state, so on and so forth, right? And he's going to treat Israel as a nation that's in the situation that it's in, regardless of the fucking UN thing everybody wants to talk about. Whether regardless of the fact that that's where they came from, it pales to the fact of this is where they are at now. And Palestinian state, like, the Palestinians never wanted to be a state to begin with. That was only a reaction to the state of Israel. Right? You know, and it came much later because they didn't want to be a state. They wanted to have their fucking free territory because it was, you know, it was kind of like the Native Americans per se. You know, it was like a protectorate, it was like a protectorate of the Ottoman Empire for a while, right? So there was nothing really to say about it because, you know, it was just like the empire did its thing and they were left alone, something like that. I don't remember, right? Because there's a whole lot that's not robustly understood, right? We don't think much about the 19th, early 20th century Muslim world. We don't think of it much at all, right? And I think the problem is, if we did, we'd be forced to think more about Tartaria, because Tartaria would have been another part of the equation. Tartaria being the Asiatic Empire, technically the Mongolians, the Ottoman Empire, then the Holy Roman Empire. And then beyond the Holy Roman Empire, you had the Protestant world of the West that was established by the European colonies in revolt. All of it was to get further and further away from you crazy Europeans. Right? That was the idea. Right? And there's an important Templar to Freemasonic connection that is also happening from post the day of their death, that Friday the 13th that they were slaughtered. But, you know, they obviously, they slaughtered, the official top deal, right? But they had, notoriety. They were, a thing that people understood. I think a lot of people that were probably close to them, and they may have always thought that perhaps a day of reckoning would come, would probably know all sorts of people or have members of their family, and they pass down this stuff, right? And I think that's maybe where I come into it, right? It's just I could have been more, but the Templars were all murdered. And you know what? Considering all the desire for the temple, right? You know, we're talking about, you know, fighting over Jerusalem, you know, being all about the fucking Messiah, you know, the Jewish Messiah, as Normans. It's just like, no. There is another temple in which there were Templars before. And that is a mystery to me, but it wouldn't shock me if there's something there for me in it. Something there about me in it. I've got a theory percolating about myself, but I'm not gonna fucking talk about it. Not yet. It's too, I could be very wrong. I could be very, very wrong. It's just a word game. It's such a big deal that I don't even want to do it. I mean, I do want to do it. I mean, I don't want to say it just because, oh, hey, here's the word game, you know, like I'm weaving. Like, this is like, I gotta fucking confirm it before I let it go to my head what I think it means. Because I don't know what it fucking means, and I wouldn't be the most excited to be associated with the figure. Be kind of excited, but I'd have to make, I wouldn't want to follow in a few footsteps. Let's just say that. It's bad enough as it is. Hey, what's up, Howard? And Angie Tallfeathers. Alrighty. So anyway, my point is that this honestly looks like that this fucking war may actually be a good and just war, right? I don't know what to tell you. I don't think there's ever been a war that didn't involve some sort of treachery, some sort of Jewish problem, some sort of this, some sort of that, and there was war. But if we're just looking at fucking history, and we're just looking at the human condition, whether it be influenced by dark sorcerers or not, if you couldn't feel in the last, you know, through this last period of time, it's not a very long period of time either, that things were coming to an end as far as tolerating the attitude with this country that it's just going to do another thing in a couple of months or another thing in a couple of weeks. And we're going to sit there and play the hard negotiator and only do anything militarily when they whip, right? This and the Venezuela move were like Department of War moves. Like, done with the DOD plan. And because nobody wanted to give, like, everything was based on giving things chances. Trump was just like, let's come to table. Trump, before he had the table, was just like, I am here to bring people to table. Bring me to table. As an example of, oh, you won't vote for me, and it's a vote to bring people to table first. Everybody's complaining that Trump's breaking a front. No, he's not. He sat there for all of a year, open to fucking talking about it, with the whole Gaza thing happening under his watch. And whether you like it or not, Israel is there, and all sorts of shit is happening that is out of everybody's fucking control because of the human condition. And there's a conspiracy in the human condition, but you can't just say everything you don't like is invalid because you know there's a conspiracy in there. Because there's a lot of fucking exploitation of real things happening. You've never been fucking exploited. You never know what it's like to be doing your thing, and then somebody robs your thing and its meaning, hijacks it, and tries to say that it, you know, like stealing an endorsement. You know? Like the way the Rolling Stones wanted fucking Trump to stop playing their fucking song. And he wouldn't. As a personal preference. Because he loves the song, and it's just a song he's playing at the event, and, you know, they had to fucking cut the audio at the introduction to fucking live events, just so you couldn't hear the feed. They'd have to fucking throw something else on, or just gonna have to run mute until they cut the music so he could start talking. Just because the Rolling Stones were getting fucking petty. It's like something is pushing through and saying, address the human condition, and we gotta fucking do this whether a conspiracy is in place or not. And yeah, that is unfortunately what you gotta do. Look at how fucking ignorant and awful people are and can be. Seriously. We are not in shape like that. We're doing pretty bad, right? We're in a low consciousness state, and imagine the low consciousness state in a fundamentalist fucking country. Well, what's the curriculum like? What's their education like? What is their Shiite revisionist fucking history like, and other things, right? At the end of the day, they're just another fucking socialist country in the fucking toilet, okay? That's all they ever fucking were. They were just really good fucking architecture infrastructure, right? They're bragging about China right now. Okay, that's great. Looks like Blade Runner. How are the people being treated? That's my metric. I'm here. Hopefully I can snag a parking spot in the back of the building. Should be able to. Is this the right side? Oh, you know what? Oh, I gotta do the other side. Alright, let me catch you guys later. I'm in the wrong place. I'm in the right place, but I gotta go one step back, and that's going to be a little complicated. This is not public parking. All right. I'll see you.